Hey everybody, in this video I wanted to give you a quick overview of a networking script for the Unity game engine. Now, this overview will be a bit better than other people's because it was actually quite difficult, but this is only how to connect through the network. Okay, this is not how to, once you're connected, get a generated player spawn. I'm gonna do a video on that, but it's not gonna be in this one, otherwise it would be really long. And I'll also do a video on how to separate the players so that they don't all spawn as the same person. So yeah. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, so I'll open up Unity, and while we're waiting on that, I just want to show you. Oh wait, I can't get behind that. I just want to show you guys this awesome picture. It's just so funny. But okay, so now we're loaded, and let's go into our project network script. Now I've changed this a bit to where you don't actually need everything that's in it, but I will explain everything to you, so don't worry about that. Okay, so first thing we have is our variables up at the top. Okay, that's the way I do it, and really it's just because I learned using C# and I declare everything globally so that it can be called from anywhere, which I prefer, but oh well. So anyways, var IP address as string, basically that's whatever the IP address is, and this is the default loopback IP. 127.0.0.1 will loop back to the user's computer. Port integer 25895, that is just a random ass port. These do have to be equal or the same in order to connect, so you can set it to pretty much whatever you want. You probably don't want to use a port that's already being used though, and once you have them set up correctly, then there you go. You will have to know the user's IP here, and you can use Hamachi. Hamachi actually makes it really easy because you don't even have to be on the same port, I don't believe. But anyways, max connections. For my game, it's 2. You can make this pretty much whatever you want, but it really only supports up to 10 without getting laggy. And even then, it's gonna get laggy before then if your connection's bad. So temp port string, that's basically where you put in the port at, or the temporary port. I'll show you that in a minute. Cam to rotate and button when clicked are both for me, not for you guys, so you guys only need these 4 right here. I believe you need the pragma strict, but you may not. That's basically just saying I think that we're using the networking. It's basically like having a using statement in C#, so it's basically the same. But anyways, we're gonna go down on the line here. So function on GUI, that just opens up this GUI, and then GUI.begin group, new rectangle, screen width, blah blah blah. All this is we're beginning a GUI group on a new rectangle that is halfway down the screen minus 70, or halfway across the screen minus 70 and halfway down the screen minus 80, and its width and height is 800 by 800. That's all that means. GUI layout horizontal, or begin horizontal, that means that on our first line of our new rectangle we're starting a line that goes across horizontally, and we're giving it an IP address equals GUI.layout.textfield IP address. The reason we have this as a text field is so that you can enter the text that you want to enter. GUI layout label IP address, that tells the user what is to be entered there, even though they should pretty much know from the 127.0.0.1. And then end horizontal, then we begin a new horizontal because we want this to show up below that one. We say temp port is equal to GUI layout text field port.toString. Now you see this basically holds the value of this port. Like we're basically parsing it into an integer from what the user puts in. So that's basically what it is. So this temp port holds it as a string and then parses it to an integer. So, and that is a little bit different than how they do it in C#. So let's say GUI layout.label is equal to port. Alright, that just tells the user that that's the port that he's going to be using, so he needs to enter in whatever port he wants. GUI layout end horizontal, GUI layout begin horizontal, label unselect. Well, this part's for me, but I added a button to select a player, and if they hit the button, then yeah. And remember that if you're adding a button that you want to be actually clickable, you need to add it as an if statement. So don't have the button declared and then say if blah blah blah. You just need to have one if statement, and that's it. So there you go. And so now let's see, GUI layout animation.play select player, GUI layout end horizontal. If GUI layout button connect is clicked, then this basically shows you could just put print connecting, and you could just bypass that altogether. The only reason you need something to say well, okay, I'm trying to connect is because why is that? Just so that you know that it's trying, I guess, just so you know. It's basically like, I don't know, it's just for troubleshooting. But anyways, network.connect, IP address and port. This is actually built in already, so you can keep that, and you don't have to add any special using statements or variables, so or functions. Well, you do have to add one function, but that's it. So if button 1 clicked is true, which we declared here, then GUI button new rectangle blah blah blah. This is basically the same as just putting print connecting right here. So you don't need all this. I just put it there for experimental reasons. And let's see. So if GUI layout button start server, then print starting server on address blah blah blah, and then let's see, and it will automatically convert this to text, so don't worry about that. And network initialize server max connections port. That's basically built in as well. And then there you go. So GUI end group, that means that this whole group of stuff here has been ended. And function on connected to server is done. So print connected, and there you go. Now I have not had anyone to connect to yet, so I'm still experimenting. But this should work, and yeah. So I may forget to put this in the description, so remind me. And other than that, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.